Tim Kerr in the Hubert Kerr Construction CF Evans Lumber Bicknell with Murray Power.
Starting in position number 28 in the McKee Engine Speed Palace number 96C out of Niagara-on-the-Lake, Ontario, Canada. This is Fast Fred Carlton.
Position 27, car 44, former track champion. Back in the car, happy to have him, of course. He's everyone's friend, Flying Brian Stevens out of St. Catharines, the Gaston Auto Sales 406 Auto Parts, number 44.
26 starting edition in the H&S Edinger Trucking Amsoil number 60 out of Homer, New York, 17-year-old chauffeur in the 60 car. This is Kenny Stafford.
Position 25 in the 44S, upcoming star. Some people think he's a star already. From Waterloo, New York, this is Matt Shepard.
Starting 24th on the grid on the outside of row number 12 in the Blue Moon Potatoes, Daryl Johnson Incorporated, number XXX out of St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada. This is Todd Gordon.
Position 23, another Merrittville regular from Niagara Falls, New York, the Niagara Maintenance Contracting Lazy Lakes Camping, number 26. This is Ricky Rickner.
Row number 11 in the Bowens Automotive Family Discount Depot, number 91 out of Grimsby, Ontario, is Travis Cunningham.
Starting 21st, the infamous Pub Company, Dex Plus, Garden City Auto, Bicknell, car number 22, Dangerous Dan Miller from Niagara-on-the-Lake.
Row number 10, the 20th starter out of Sanborn, New York, in the King Oil Newcraft Windows, number 15J. This is Tim Jones.
He'll start in hole number 19. Driving car 3B out of Wheatfield, New York, the original Pizza Logs, Bicknell, with Jensen Power, Chad Brackman.
Row number 9, starting 18th. Out of St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada, in the Chevron, Texaco, Merrittville Speedway, Bicknell Race Products, number 42P. This is Pete Bicknell.
He'll start from position 17. Another one of our Merrittville regulars out of Cambria, New York, the Bailey's Convenience Store, Goulding Trucking, Bicknell, car 123, double feature wins back on Victoria Day, Robbie Kroll.
Row number 8, starting 16th on the grid in the White Oak Transport, Braun Construction. Number 9 out of St. Catharines, Ontario, this is Ken Crossgrove.
Position 15 out of Port Colborne, Ontario, the Lafarge North American All-Source Heat Treating, Bicknell, the 1F of Adam Ferry.
Row number 7, 14th starting position in the Mohawk Northeast, New England Race Fuels, Troyer Race Cars, Joe Gibbs Motor Oil, number 98H, out of Baldwinsville, New York, this is Jimmy Phelps.
He hails from Clifton Springs, New York. He will start 13th in car number 1, the Honeyaway Auto Parts, Pillsbury Bicknell, with Mazdan Power. This is Gary Tompkins.
Row number 6, starting 12th in the JIR Motorsports A&D Structures Machine. He is 16 years old. He has a big block win to his credit at the Brewerton Speedway. From Pennville, New York, is Joe Isabel.
Starting 11th, a winner this past Saturday at Eldora Speedway, car number 19, out of Edwards, New York, the JL Motorsports, Native Poker Chiefs, Tobacco, Gas G&R Auto Parts, T.O. Tim Fuller.
Row number 5, starting 10th in the Lampman Truck Caps, Young Auto Professionals. Number 23 from Port Colborne is Larry Lampman Jr.
Starting position 9, car number 73 out of Cortland, New York, the East End Auto Parts and Construction, Jacobs Excavation, Bicknell. This is Dale Plank.
Row number 4, starting 8th on the grid out of Wind Gap, Pennsylvania, the Waits General Construction, CarQuest Auto Parts, Burt Transmission, number 44 of Frank Cozy.
30-year modified racing veteran, the 42P, I beg your pardon, in slot number 7 out of Genoa, New York, the Gypsum Express Limited, Stadium International, Bicknell, Pat Ward.
Starting 6 on the grid, a 5-time Syracuse champion, a 5-time Mr. Dirt champion, in search of his 700th career win here tonight in the Madsen Motorsports Wentworth Custom Homes, number 20 from Sussex, New Jersey, Brett the Jet Hearn.
Into our top 5. Car number 7X. Out of Waterloo, New York, the Talmadge Tire, Terrell's Potato Chips, Geneva Homes, J&M Roofers entry. It's a TO. He's won qualifiers here before. It's the Hurricane, Steve Payne.
Row number 2, starting in position number 4 in the Quality Concrete, King Enterprises, Chiefs Tobacco and Gas, number 27J, from Rochester, New York, the Dr. Danny Johnson.
Into our top 3. Car 91D from position 3 out of Unadilla, New York, the Gypsum Wholesalers Stadium International Quality Hardwoods, Bicknell with Enders Power, our points leader in the series, the Franklin Flyer, Billy Decker.
Ladies and gentlemen, the front row starting second on the grid in the Mullen Industrial Handling Corporation, Trackman Replacement Rubber, number 62 out of Spencerport, New York, Todd the Tornado Burley.
And on the pole, looking for his 4th consecutive qualifier win here at Merrittville Speedway. Driving car 14J, position number 1 out of Phelps, New York, the nativepoker.com, WPC Associates Incorporated, Pine Line Auto Sales, Bicknell, homegrown 2007 version of that chassis with Morrison Power, the 14J on the pole, the one, the only AJ Sideways, Alan Johnson.
I'll jump in here quickly. Todd Burley, like you said, lots of pressure. You had lots of time to think about it. Any new game plan?
No, we changed a couple springs after hot laps, and just trying to tighten the car up. We were really, really loose, and this is we struggle on this type of surface. So Ted tried a couple things, and hopefully we get going a little better.
All right, there you have it from Todd Burley. Move up here and talk to Alan Johnson. Alan, Todd Burley says he's got a lot of pressure. You got more starting up front. You're running good. What's your plan?
Well, I don't know. Just try to keep everybody behind me. We got a good field of cars here, and it's going to be a tough one. But cars running real good. I just try to hold them off.
All right, there you have it from our front row. We'll move back here to talk to Pastor Wells and Kara Nunamaker, who will do our anthems. All right, we've got Pastor Wells down here, and Kara Nunamaker will ask you all to stand now for the invocation and the anthems, please. Pastor Wells, it's all yours, my friend.
Dear Heavenly Father, it's great to be here in Canada tonight and to see all my friends. It's a great night for the Wilkins family as they pay tribute to Trevor. I'm glad that they keep his memory alive. May we realize that memories are a great gift that never can be taken from us. And because we value life, we ask you tonight to put guardian angels around these great drivers, their crews, each official and fan. Protect them from harm and danger. And may our two countries ever live in peace. We pray this in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Amen.
Well, now we'd like to welcome Kara Nunamaker, and Kara, going to do the anthems for us.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose proud stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Oh, Canada, our home native land. True patriot love in all thy son's commands. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, our true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Karen Enemaker.
Nice job. She works with the Vancouver Canucks, and we're very happy to have her here. All right, we got Devin Habu here. We ran a contest all throughout the month of July to be our Grand Marshal. Devin here won it. He's got the hat on. He's got the official shirt. We've been putting him to work. Nice and loud on the count of three, and all you can help us. It's going to be drivers, start your engines. Devin, are you ready?
Yep.
All right, we'll count down, and you're going to yell it as loud as you can. All ready?
3, 2, 1. Drivers, start your engines.
Great job. Let's get it going.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to go racing, Eric.
And to get the cars fired, our Grand Marshal has given the command to start engine.
And all points in between. Wave your hands, wave your hats, wave your neighbor, wave your beverage, wave your loved one. Come on, Merrittville, let me see you out there. I traveled 12 hours to get here. Don't disappoint me. Let me see you, ladies and gentlemen. Show these big block modified drivers you are ready to rock and roll here at the Merrittville Speedway, the Trevor Wilkins Memorial Classic. Yeah, race fans, fantastic. Help me out if you will, Merrittville. Can I get a yeah, baby? All right. Ready to turn loose the power of the big block modifieds. Alan Johnson and Todd Burley up on the front row. Billy Decker in the number 91 will start third with the doctor. Danny Johnson sitting in the fourth spot. Steve Payne in the 7X will start fifth, and Brett Hearn, oh so close yesterday to that 700th win. Will he be able to get it tonight? We are going to find out in 100 heart-pounding, earth-shaking, nail-biting, window-rattling laps with the big block modifieds. Gentlemen, as they work down the back straightaway, wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point harness. Grandpa, take a Viagra pill. It's time to get it on. Race fans, it's showtime!
Bumping back in the pack, big time. There's cars shucking and jiving all over the place.
Yellow lights are on, Eric, as the number 60 of Kenny Stafford off the top side of the speedway, the kid out of Homer, New York, the HS Edinger Trucking, Amsoil, number 60, off the top side of the speedway.
He has not had the easiest of nights.
This one just pulled into the pit area as well, Eric. So his ride coming to a stop here in his pit stall.
Whether he can rejoin the party, we do not know. Of course, Travis, one of our regular Saturday night Merrittville campaigners. 98 with the busted rear end. Wow.
Wow. That is Jimmy Phelps in the number 98. He is top 10 in points for the Advanced Auto Parts Modified Super Dirt Series. A tough break for him. He is the driver of the Troyer Race Cars, New England Race Fuels, number 98H out of Baldwinsville, New York.
8th in the Tour points, second season on the Tour, looking for his first win It's one of those guys who keeps trying. He'll not give up, but that first win could improve things drastically for that driver.
Here's a driver that has, if you will, worked very hard to get into a quality ride like this. His dad, Andy, owns their race car that he races in Central New York on a regular basis. The opportunity to come and drive for this team happened when Chad Brockman vacated the seat last year.
Right.
Billy Colton was looking for somebody to put in the car. Jimmy Phelps had always been a Troyer supporter.
Right.
They decided to give him a shot at it with Al Hankey and John Holland, the owner of that race team. He's in it. He has given them good results, consistent finishes, and one of the things they like about him is the fact that he is easy on equipment, and that, of course,
He's done, guys, out of the race.
Tough break for Travis Cunningham and Phelps as well. Billy Tripp's got the Chevy HHR. David Chevrolet Pace vehicle in the infield. Barry Davidson's got the green. He relights the fuse. Todd Burley, the power at Ransomville Speedway. And Alan Johnson, AJ Slideways, who's turned many laps at that facility as well. He's won championships here, looking for 4 in a row at Merrittville Speedway. Alan Johnson out of turn 4.
working it off the turn. Here comes Billy Decker. He brings it up to the 2 spot, getting around Burley. McNell Chassis Enders power plant goes to work on Alan Johnson. Here comes the Jet launching off the top side, and Frank Cozy in the 44 making some noise. He rides in 7th, looking to get around Pat Ward. Ward around turn 4.
Oh boy, Pat Ward has gone around in turn 4, 90 degrees to the guardrail. He's going to stack up a couple of cars out there.
Pat Ward in the 42.
Piece of debris on the backstretch, guys, is one of the shock. Actually, a big piece of a shock, so somebody's not going to be handling too well. Hopefully, it's one of the guys who went into the pits already.
Ready to crank him up tight and let him fly. Alan Johnson leads. Billy Decker 2nd. The Jet rides in 3rd. Burley holds 4th. Steve Payne 5th. Danny Johnson 6th. Frank Cozy 7th. Green means go off the corner. We're back underway, and Decker's going to challenge for the lead.
Couple of big block monsters up front. Alan Johnson, 14J, and the Franklin Flyer, Billy Decker in the Gypsum 91. Then Todd Burley in the 62. Hanging back and watching these two guys.
Dale Plank just went 3 wide with Frank Cozy and Tim Fuller and drove by both of them like they were tied to a tree as he moves up to position number 7, make it the 6th spot as he gets by Lampman.
Alan Johnson, Billy Decker, Todd Burley, Brett Hearn, Steve Payne, Danny Johnson, Dale Plank, Larry Lampman, Tim Fuller, Gary Tompkins. Your top 10. We are 5 laps in.
Look at Alan Johnson right now out in front, 2-car length advantage. Frank Cozy, he must have the sheet metal on the wrong way. He's going backwards. He's lost a bunch of spots with that number 44 machine.
Ken Cosgrove, Merrittville regular, car number 9. He's on the march as well. He's been moving up, gaining some positions. Pete Bicknell trying to find some racing room in car number 42. He's won big block and 358 championships and qualifiers here at the track he now owns. But he's got a lot of hardware to try and fight his way up to the front.
I'll tell you what, Eric, Dale Plank has himself a very fast race car right now in that number 73 machine. He is all over Danny Johnson for position number 6 as they close in on the Payne 7X in the 5 spot.
73 of Plank on the march. In behind Danny Johnson, trailing by 2/100ths of a second. But Plank, you're right, has a very, very quick car. Alan Johnson with about a 3-car length lead, but Billy Decker closes it up to about a 1-car length lead as they go between 3 and 4. And now Johnson able to stretch it out again as they head down the front straightaway into 1 and 2.
Did you notice what Billy Decker did as soon as Alan Johnson opened up a couple of car lengths? He started moving around, searching for that fast line right now.
Exactly. And you can do that. There's great bite here right from top to bottom, but the track is slicking over. And that could be an advantage of the 358s, but so far it's been all the big guys.
Alan Johnson still out there in front. Now, about a quarter of a straightaway, maybe over a half a straightaway in front of him, he is going to hit lap traffic. Alan, a master at picking his lines. Let's see if those lap cars fall into place for him.
1/10 through the event, 11 laps on the board now. 100 is the distance. 14th annual Trevor Wilkins Syracuse qualifier. A stop in the Advanced Auto Parts Super Dirt Series Big Block Tour. And so far, it's the Alan Johnson show. He's the leader. Billy Decker, 0.847 seconds behind. Todd Burley is running third.
Todd Burley still out there in the third spot. Brett Hearn about 3 car lengths behind. Now Danny Johnson has turned the wick up right now. Dale Plank was challenging him, but Plank is kind of leveled off, and the doctor is actually reeling in Brett Hearn, who in turn is challenging Todd Burley for third.
That's a good fight. We've been talking about Johnson and Decker up front. Look at Hearn and the 62 of Todd Burley. That's a great fight out there as well.
Boy, Alan Johnson changed lines that time off of corner number 4 all the way down to the bottom side of the Speedway. Yeah, as he's closing in on Tim Kerr. Now Kerr has been a little bit out of shape coming off the corner, fighting a loose handling race car. Alan's got to be careful.
Alan knows how to search for the right line. The track has certainly changed since he ran here regularly on Saturday nights, but he's a former track champion. He knows you can find bite. If it's not going to work where you are, search around. You can find another line, and he knows where to look.
Some guys read War and Peace. Some guys read poetry. Alan Johnson reads racetracks.
Oh, yeah. There probably isn't a guy out there better.
That guy in second place will give him a pretty good run for his money right now. We're still early in this event.
Nobody is really jumping out here and doing anything unorthodox. Derek Lemaire, Jimmy Phelps, Travis Cunningham, the only retirees so far. 16 laps on the counter. 100 is our distance.
Brian Stevens just pulled off the Speedway in the number 44 machine, as Brett Hearn still working on that Todd Burley number 62 car. That is the battle for third. This is allowing Alan Johnson to pull away from Billy Decker a little bit as they are in slower traffic.
Alan Johnson, Billy Decker, Todd Burley, Brett Hearn, Danny Johnson, your top 5.
Boy, Burley's giving that Mullen Industrial 62 a workout right now on the top side of the Speedway. Looking real good out there right now, but Brett Hearn working back there. Danny Johnson is getting a tremendous run off of corner number 2. Hearn seems to have the advantage through 3 and 4, but watch the doctor when they leave 1 and 2. Oh, contact, wow.
Wow, and just about got into the wall down here on the front straightaway, right in front of our broadcast location, Shane.
Now, there's something we probably ought to tell everybody. There are no radio communications with pit crews and drivers. Danny's not happy. He wanted to get Brett on that one, and he just pushed up the Speedway a little bit, and that allowed Tim Fuller to get by.
Danny Johnson running the high side. Oh, there's something new.
Yeah.
No, not really.
No radio communications this year between spotters, crew members, and the drivers. So the drivers really have to drive by the seat of their pants. We've got one car. Is that Lampman?
Larry Lampman, the guy that I picked to maybe the dark horse. Too bad our regular Saturday night running points leader has retired in car 23. That's a shame.
Billy Decker trying to keep the pace with Alan Johnson, but he's 1.7 seconds behind.
22 laps on the counter, wending our way towards the halfway mark of the event. The big blocks return. And starter Barry Davidson, the 29-year veteran's got the move over flag. He might as well just stick it under his foot and leave it there.
Yes, he might as well, because they're not going to watch that flag. These guys are focused right now on the cars ahead of them. Larry Lampman still out on the Speedway. That must have been Robbie Kroll that pulled in.
Pete Bicknell is the highest running Merrittville regular, currently 13th on the board. Alan Johnson, Billy Decker, Todd Burley, Brett Hearn, Tim Fuller, your top 5. Danny Johnson, 6th. Dale Plank is 7th. Chad Brackman is 8th. Gary Tompkins, 9th. And Steve Payne is 10th.
Eric, you see this track every week, and you've seen it more than I do, obviously. And as I watch the cars come off of corner number 4, is that groove going to start going down into that moat underneath the flag stand?
You'll find that not normally. I mean, it's one of those situations where the track has changed, and they're going to start pressing it up here. But that lip, even though it's not a very deep moat, we call it the quasi-moat or quasi-moto, it can catch wheels. It is sharpened up since they moved the wall back here about 8 feet right here at the start-finish line. It's a bit of a bowl shape here, but it does allow you to move up to the edge of it. Just don't go over it, because it can catch the wheels and kick you back up.
Because I am noticing that the drivers that are running the top side are really putting that right rear tire up on the cushion through corner number 3 and 4. There isn't a heavy cushion, but there's enough there that they can put that Hoosier tire on there to help propel them down the front straightaway.
Brad Hearn in the 20 continues that hammer and tongs knife fight with Todd Burley in the 62. Keep your eyes on that. A very entertaining exchange as they cross the start-finish line with 28 on the counter.
Hearn's thrown everything except the steering wheel at Burley, trying to get by him. Burley staying on the top side. Hearn has been consistently working on the bottom. This time he follows him through to kind of get some of that momentum back.
Alan Johnson across the stripe, your leader. Billy Decker running second. Todd Burley third. Brett Hearn is fourth. And Hearn has been turning himself inside out, trying to get by Burley.
You know who's making a good charge right now? Gary Tompkins in the number 1 machine. Started 13th, currently up to the 9th position and starting to close in on the Chad Brockman number 3 machine.
No real big change at the front. The retirees so far, Robbie Kroll, Brian Stevens, Derek Lemaire, Jimmy Phelps, and Travis Cunningham. Not a lot of attrition.
Yes, there is right now, and we are on lap number 30 as Pat Ward, he goes into turn number 1. He goes a lap down, so will Tim Jones in the 15.
Alan Johnson overhauling Tim Jones, as you mentioned, in the 15. Now setting his sights on the backside of fast Freddie Carlton in the 96. Alan Johnson on a tour, on a clinic. That's not unusual at this facility.
Chad Brockman on the move. He's up to the 10th position, started back in position number 18.
Another former Merrittville regular. He's a guy who knows every nook and cranny of this place as well. So the gap between Alan Johnson and Billy Decker threading through traffic is 2.5 seconds, Shane.
Oh, Todd Burley threw the slide job on Dan Miller to get by him, and that almost cost him a position as Brett Hearn looked to get by into turn 3 and 4. Those two have been going at it tooth and nail, and now Tim Fuller in the number 19 is right there with him. Fuller up from position number 11.
I want to watch a clinic. You can watch the leaders all you want, but watch Burley in the Mullen 62 and Brett Hearn in the 20. The way those two guys have been going at it here about the last 15, almost 20 laps, they have not given any quarter at all. They go high, they go low, they switch positions. They are all over each other, but they race clean. There's been no contact.
Look at this, through the corner, Brett Hearn with the advantage, pushes up the hill just a little bit. Burley a half car length behind as the Jet trying to take position number 3 away. He may have him. And Eric, I've got to ask you, when that number 20 pulls up beside you, do you think it forces those racers to race just a little bit harder?
I think so. They know full well. You would think in all the mayhem out here, they don't know who that is. They know darn well who it is.
Better believe it.
He's the intimidator for this series, no doubt about it.
Alan Johnson, a full straightaway lead right now. That car running to perfection. Morrison power plant. Oh, wow. Danny Johnson just bounced it off the wall going into 1.
That was close. He got down in our Quasimodo, and he may have rubbed the wall. Check that tire for a white wall because they put 27 gallons of brand new white paint on this front wall at Merrittville to spruce it up for the qualifier. Danny, he's down in the mode again.
Danny may be in the Quasimodo, but he almost rang the bell that time. Wow. I have a hunch he won't do that again.
No, he won't. He got down in that ditch, and he may have kissed the wall. Gets into the back of Dan Miller with a big kapow.
Oh, and Plank got into the side of Johnson. He had to check up. That causes the number 9 machine to slow considerably, and Ken Cosgrove.
It is getting muscular out here.
Sometimes you see those chassis flex. You see muscles flex every now and then.
Tim Fuller gets by Todd Burley. We were talking about that fight with Hearn and Todd Burley. Tim Fuller has filtered his way up to the 4th spot. So that win at Eldora on Saturday has certainly done some good things for Fuller.
Tim Jones in the 15 just going pit side. Like you said, Fuller starting to get some momentum. If you want to fire at the right time of year, this is the time of year to catch fire. And of course, he knows he's got the 2 guys leading the points in front of him, and he's got a long ways to go.
Billy Decker free falling through the field here. Alan Johnson now with Brett Hearn second. Tim Fuller third, Todd Burley fourth, Gary Tompkins. Things have shuffled at the top here, Shane.
And look at this. Tim Fuller starting to reel in the Brett Hearn at number 20 machine.
We watched the Franklin Flyer, Billy Decker, get snared in the Quasimodo. Along the front straightaway, he fell back. Kerr in the 60 is limping along wounded into turn 1. He may be headed for the exit.
Working it down into corner number 1 and 2. Kenny Stafford in the 60 will go track side.
Kenny Stafford, the latest retiree. That makes Stafford, Jones, Kroll, yellow. Derek Lemaire, Phelps, and Cunningham are retirees. So the transponders help freeze the field. But it has been Alan Johnson. AJ Slideways looking for his 4th.
Cars to the inside for the restart. AJ leads. Billy Decker sits in 2nd. Brett Hearn is 3rd. Tim Fuller from 11th up to 4th, and we're back underway.
Must be a snafu with the Billy Decker 91 in terms of his transponder, because he wasn't even showing up on the running order here, but he is, as you mentioned, running 2nd as we reshuffle the deck here. Readjusting the computer, but it is, we can at least tell you, Alan Johnson out front, lap 45 with a 1.5753 second lead, I should say, on the Franklin Flyer of Billy Decker.
Wow, look at Alan pull away as soon as he got that green flag once again. Look at that car when he comes off of corner number 4, Eric. He is so smooth. That car never wiggles.
Well, you know what it looks like? It looks like Bicknell here on a regular Saturday night. He doesn't get that thing off its axis too much either. It comes off the corner, either down low like he's doing right now, or up in the middle portion of the racetrack in the middle groove. The car isn't pitching, it isn't yawing at all. And as you mentioned, Alan's got a brand new 2007 Bicknell chassis. If Bicknell makes it work like that here, it's no surprise Alan Johnson is using the same tactic.
2 words, throttle control.
Throttle control.
Wow, is he just ginger on that gas pedal.
Like an egg under the gas pedal.
You better believe it. Another guy doing a super job is Billy Decker, but that one cost him up into corner number 1 and 2 as Brett Hearn dives down to the inside.
Alan Johnson, a little adjustment there between 1 and 2. Man, it looked like he slowed way down, but he's still on the hammer here and not punishing the car at all.
How about a run by Ken Cosgrove in that
Excellent.
number 9? Fantastic job here tonight. He's got Gary Tompkins in front of him as Cosgrove runs back in 6th.
Kenny Cosgrove is our highest running Merrittville regular. In 6th, we are halfway through it. The flags, the arms, the eyes are crossed, whatever you want. We're halfway through the event. It has been fast with very, very few yellows, and we predicted it might be like that, Shane.
And now cautions laps will start to count, so if the yellow flag flies, they will start counting the laps.
You talk about car control, feathering the throttle. Alan Johnson knows he's got a big lead. He's not killing the car at all. He's backed off. He's not really wringing its neck in the corners. He's very smooth, very calculated. But look, it's got almost he has a full back straightaway lead on Billy Decker, and he's just nice and gentle coming out of the corners. He's saving the tires, he's saving the engine.
You hear where he's lifting as he comes by?
Yep.
About 15 feet just to the right of the flag stand and letting the car roll through the corner.
You think he was trying to save fuel or something. That's a tactic when you're trying to save fuel.
Actually, he may be trying to save some of the tires on that car.
We just mentioned the tires, exactly. He just may be trying to save the rubber, who knows?
Now, they did have the option of running the hard compound or the soft compound tonight on any of the corners that they wanted to. But you know, Alan Johnson, he's been doing this a long time. He's used to this. He knows what it needs to be done. Last night at Tri-City, I said to him, well, I guess it's time for you to go to work. He looks right at me and he says, work? This is work? He says, this is a playtime for me. I love racing.
Oh, there isn't a better guy out there. And it's funny, too, we were just commenting on this on Saturday night when you talk about Alan Johnson. He's been around so long. If you were to pool the drivers in the pits at Syracuse, at Merrittville, at Brewerton, wouldn't matter. If you took a poll of the drivers, they would so probably tell you that Alan Johnson is still the best all-around talent on dirt.
And to back that statement up, at Eldora on Saturday night, everybody was worried about what kind of tire Alan Johnson was going to be running. He went with the hard compound. The soft compound tires actually won the race, and that's what Tim Fuller and Billy Decker were running. Gary Tompkins is on the move in that number 1 car. Billy Decker going backwards as Tompkins is now up to position number 4.
Gary Tompkins, car number 1, the Pillsbury machine on the march, but it's still Alan Johnson, your leader, as we're on lap 57.
Listen to the difference in Alan Johnson's car as compared to second place Brett Hearn.
It almost sounds like he's going to shut it off. He's really lifting early.
Sounds something different in the gearing. It sounds like Alan went with a different gear.
Different note in the engine, absolutely. And of course, when you got a big, grunty, torquey, big block engine, that becomes pretty critical. Wow. Oh, they got a problem up here. And
Kenny Stafford in the number 60
Turn 4,
going
right
around.
Yellow laps now count. Yellow laps now count. We're past the halfway point.
Even wiggling when he comes off the corner, is it?
No, he's really pushing it down to the bottom. He's discovered that line too, and you can really see he's diming it high into one, but kind of chopping it down towards the bottom and all the way down the backstretch. They've got that tacky lane that is still working, and even as I walk over here more towards the entrance into one, it is still absolutely beautiful. Guys down here, they can stick their whole left rear on it, and even at some point through the middle, both tires will be in the good stuff.
And you know something, when they go down into that corner, when they're sitting in the cockpits of these big block modifieds, they can't see the left front tire of that car. It is all by feel where they go into the corner. So as you get closer to the inside, it's the closer you are to the wall. It's amazing that these guys have that vision to be able to keep those tires off the concrete.
The other thing, guys, is Stafford is back out. They found what the problem was. He's returned. And, you know, we hear about a Talladega or a Darlington stripe. Well, I get a couple of them are going to have a few white Merrittville stripes, guys.
Well, a couple of questions by the starting staff of drivers passing under the yellow. We'll keep our eyes on that for any developments. But it's Alan Johnson, Brett Hearn, Gary Tompkins, Tim Fuller, and Billy Decker, your top five. We relight this thing with 63 laps on the counter.
Cosgrove and Pete Bicknell swapping some paint down into corner number 3 and 4 as Bicknell now moves up to position number 6. I'm convinced Danny Johnson likes that moat. Plain and simple,
Well,
he did it again.
It's not a very big moat, but he's used to trying everything, and we've seen him run the high side of every racetrack. That is his style. It's almost akin to something in a sprint car, but Danny has been famous for that, and he's using it to his advantage. He drops that right rear tire, and Chad Brackman, same way, and a few other drivers are trying that little moat.
Keeping my eyes on Pete Bicknell right now. He is now up to position number 5, and he is going after Tim Fuller's number 19, and Bicknell running that extreme low groove off of corner number 4.
Patented stuff. He has won 18 championships at this place, looking for 19 this year. And he runs that low line down on the bottom, much akin to what Alan Johnson is doing right now up front in P1. Johnson, Hearn, Tompkins, Fuller, Pete Bicknell now 5th and charging.
And Cosgrove is going after the 91 of Billy Decker as they battle. Pete Bicknell, great run off of corner number 2. You see Pete Bicknell here each and every week. Where does he make his moves the most?
Well, he just sits back. He's got the power and he's got the technique. He doesn't overdrive the car. You talk about throttle control. At this place, he's able just to stay out of trouble and stay down low. But he can work up high, but it is the patented stuff to stay down low, but he's got the power to come around. This turn 4, compared to the other turns, is almost 90 degrees. It's a very, very tough, tricky corner. Turn 2 is a bit of a handful with the reconfiguration of the backstretch, but turn 4, you got to get down near the guardrail. You can make it work up top, and some drivers are, but they're almost getting consistently now, as we get well past the halfway part of the race, Shane, dropping that right front tire off the edge of the speedway.
Turn 2 looks like it's a little bit more of a sweeper than 3 and 4 is.
I think so. Yes, it is. You're exactly right. Alan Johnson, 1.587 seconds ahead of Brett Hearn. In second, Gary Tompkins is third. Pete Bicknell up to 4th. Mr. Small Block is on the move against the big blocks.
You know, they say there's a lot of luck in racing. I'll tell you who's moving right now, and he may get the Hard Charger Award, is Matt Shepard in the 44S. He started 25th. He's now up to position number 10.
Wow, that's a hard charger for sure. But Bicknell on the march. He has been hampered by a bit of a bad back here lately with a ruptured disc operated on last year. He's out here almost every day from sunup to sundown, grooming this place. Chad Brackman just about dropped it off there. He got nudged up by Joe Isabel and just about ran out of real estate. Back to Mr. Bicknell. He re-aggravated his back with that herniated disc. He's out here running with a bit of a wonky back, but the adrenaline takes over. He knows the place so well. He can smell it. He's running 4th right now.
How many times have we heard an injured driver that is driving with severe pain say they feel most comfortable inside a race car?
I can think of Mark Martin in NASCAR Next Hill Cup, drove an entire season with a broken back.
And you know something? When they get into the cars, it's like a switch comes on, that extra little bit of juice kicks in, that adrenaline. That's a rush you and I don't know about, but we can only imagine.
Chad Brackman better stop doing that because he's getting very close to that wall down here in turn 4.
25 laps remaining in this 100 lap Trevor Wilkins Memorial Advanced Auto Parts Modified Super Dirt Series, and Matt Shepard is charging to the front, ladies and gentlemen. He is up to position number 9 from the 25th starting position, the BKS GU Hardware number 44S machine.
Alan Johnson, your leader. Brett Hearn is second. Gary Tompkins third. Pete Bicknell is still fourth. Tim Fuller is fifth. Cosgrove is sixth. Dale Plank seventh. Decker is eighth. Ninth is Danny Johnson. Matt Shepard is 10th.
And the doctor in trouble right now. Shepard all over him as they race through the corner, as they are both closing in on Dale Plank and the Billy Decker, number 91. But this race is all Alan Johnson. A tremendous drive for AJ here tonight.
Tim Fuller, he's using up almost the entire racetrack on the front straightaway, dropping that tire in car number 19 off the edge of the racetrack on the exit of turn 4. Billy Decker gets down there. So does Danny Johnson. That is now almost the preferred line. Now Adam Ferry, one of the regular Saturday Night Merrittville campaigners, he gets that right front tire just off the edge of the track down here in our little what we call a quasi-moto.
With the exception of Pete Bicknell and Cosgrove, we are seeing the majority of the small blocks run up on the top side. Keeping those R's wound up. They need to keep
Which
those
you have
R's
to
going.
do in a small block, even on a track of this size. You're exactly right.
And the big blocks can just roll in a little easier into the corners. They're getting a little bit more forward bite right now, especially Alan Johnson with as smooth as he is.
20 to go. That is all. 20 to go. And it is Alan Johnson, and he's been there since the opening strains of the symphony.
And he's playing a fine tune for car owner Jeff Rudalovich and Tony laughing.
Absolutely.
Rudalovich out of Oliphant, Pennsylvania, just outside of Scranton. A long ways to come to race.
Absolutely is. Absolutely is.
This was their travel itinerary. Alan actually drove from Phelps, where he lives outside of Rochester, down to Oliphant, met with the team, drove from there all the way out to Eldora, made the stop in Tri-City, drove up here tonight, and now has to go back to Oliphant, get his car, and drive back to Rochester.
You guys put in the miles. I hope you're not in lease cars. You may be in big trouble. Alan Johnson, Brett Hearn, Gary Tompkins, 1, 2, 3. Bicknell is fourth. And Cosgrove, another fellow Merrittville regular, is running fifth at the moment. A good run for Cosgrove. We mentioned that even in the heat. He time trialed fairly well, but at the start of this race, he was on the move instantly in a car moving well. Now watch Alan Johnson picking his way through traffic once again, getting by Dan Miller. 4 wide going into 2. There's not enough room to do that. How did they pull that down?
He greased up the sides and slid it down the middle.
Absolutely. You can't fall if nothing's holding it, let me tell you.
This is one of the treats about coming to different tracks that run either a big block or a 358 modified on a regular basis. You get to see the local guys that don't do a lot of traveling but have the potential to be able to run with the regulars on the tour. Cosgrove is an example of that here tonight.
Absolutely.
A phenomenal drive for him.
And Katie Cosgrove, just a recent returnee. He was here as a regular for a while, took some years off, and came back last year, and is certainly running extremely well. This could be the drive for him of the year.
And what does that do for his confidence for a regular Saturday night program here at Merrittville? When he can leave this speedway knowing that he finished ahead of a Tim Fuller, a Billy Decker, a Matt Shepard, a Todd Burley, a Steve Payne, boy, that just speaks volumes for your program.
Cosgrove currently third in the regular Saturday night Merrittville points with 1 feature win. But extremely good run here tonight. 87 laps on the counter, and they're continuing to use that upper line right down in the moat. Brackman drops the tire down there, and a few others do as well, including Adam Ferry. Gary Tompkins in the 1. Pete Bicknell didn't go that high, but you got Cosgrove right on the backside of Pete Bicknell.
And you've got Bicknell on the backside of Tompkins, who in turn is challenging Hearn. Second, third, fourth, and fifth, all right there within 3 car lengths.
Woo-woo, freight train, let me tell you.
Tompkins may have something for Hearn. He's been working on him quite steadily for the last 10 laps.
They're side by side in 2. Bicknell right there watching from the catbird seat, and Cosgrove watching him. 10 to go. A very rapid unfolding event here. 100 laps in, I don't think record time, but pretty darn good lickety-split time, let me tell you.
Gary Tompkins needs a good finish. Drove all the way out to Eldora. The coil went on the car. They couldn't figure out what it was. He had to sit out the majority of that 100 lapper. This team needs a good run here tonight. He's having a sensational run, but you know something, Eric? He is almost 8 seconds behind Alan Johnson.
Exactly. Tompkins, second place. Alan Johnson, third. Brett Hearn running third. Pete Bicknell is fourth. Cosgrove is fifth.
He is a half a lap.
That's a half a lap at this track. It certainly is. Alan Johnson looking for his 4th consecutive qualifier win here at Merrittville Speedway. We're a stone's throw from Niagara Falls. If you're not exactly clued in where we are, just south of St. Catharines, just a stone's throw from Niagara Falls. Now Alan Johnson tippy-toeing his way to the back of the pack once again. Everybody staying out of his way. Alan is a master at going through the thorn bushes here. They're like 3 wide with our leader in the middle. Don't squeeze him like a sandwich. It could be disaster.
Danny Johnson right in front of him, as Danny is the 10th place car about to go down a lap to the race leader.
4 years younger than his older brother, Alan Johnson. Danny Johnson's had some hair-raising moments, but currently riding in the 10th spot, and he'll probably stay there. We've got 5 more to go. A full fistful, says Caitlin Pretty on the lap counter.
Alan Johnson's got to be smiling wide right now when he sees Billy Decker right in front of him. Decker is only a quarter straightaway ahead from going a lap down. AJ comes into tonight with a 7-point disadvantage behind Decker. Boy, this is going to shake things up.
What did we talk about? Beginning of this race, he lost the points lead after Eldora on Saturday night. Comes in here looking for 4 in a row. It was a setup perfect for Alan Johnson. He wants to be back on top of the points order, and right now he's 4 laps away from doing exactly that.
I guarantee you he sees Billy Decker right now, and he is going to go hard after him to try and finish this one off. Behind the leaders, though, Pete Bicknell looking to get by Tompkins.
He's got 3rd. Pete Bicknell with 3rd place, at least on the scoring board. Now it's, 3rd in the order, and Cosgrove up to 4th.
As Alan Johnson works it down into corner number 3 and 4. He'll come across the line, 2 laps remaining. AJ Slideways out of Phelps, New York, looking for his 4th Advanced Series win of the year and his 43rd overall on the Advanced Tour. He brings it off of corner number 4. Eric Thomas, take us home.
Alrighty, Alan Johnson, AJ Slideways out of Phelps, New York, a former champion at this particular speedway, looking for qualifier win 4 in a row. He lost the points lead after Eldora. Billy Decker, 2nd. Can he overhaul it? He's led this thing from the opening bell, and like the good guy that we know he is, can run well here. Checkered flag for Alan Johnson. He'll pick up the win. His 4th qualifier in a row. Pete Bicknell, at least on my board here, Pete Bicknell in the runner-up spot. Ken Cosgrove 3rd. Gary Tompkins 4th. Brett Hearn finishes 5th. Pete Bicknell, Ken Cosgrove saved the best for the end.
Yes, he did, and I'll tell you what, a nice showing by both Bicknell and Cosgrove coming home in the top 3, but it's Alan Johnson reigning supreme here at Merrittville.
Alan Johnson, 4 qualifier wins in a row. Dirt's winningest big block driver. Points leader at Fulton Speedway. He went back-to-back here with qualifier wins in 97 and 98. 3 wins on the tour so far in 2006 at Ransomville, Brockville, and Grandview. 8 top 5s in 12 races. Of the race. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for a record-breaking night here tonight. We hope you enjoyed the show. Congrats to all of our winners. Saturday night, Direct Energy Essential Home Services, 5-division Dirt Weekly Racing Series, and the launch of our Raceline Radio 105.1 The River Super Fan Contest for those tickets to the Nextel Cup race in October at Charlotte.
Eric, if I may, on behalf of all the drivers, owners, officials, colorful crew, cast and characters, and all the officials with Dirt Motorsports, thank you very much for having us here at the Merrittville Speedway, our first appearance since 1992, and we hope you enjoyed the show. Want to give this shout out to everybody. If you can't make it to a Big Block Series race, all you have to do is log on to dirtvision.com. You can watch the Cybercast, or you can listen to the Dirt Radio Network. As a matter of fact, we will be on the air this Thursday night, August 10th, from the Canandaigua Speedway. Thank you very much. You're great race fans here in Canada. We love you, and we're glad to be here. Eric, thanks for having me up here. Clinton, fantastic job. Pleasure working with you guys.
Hey, listen, Shane, great to have you up here and good to work with you again, my buddy.
Nice to see you, and I look forward to it as well.
You bet. Thank you. Appreciate that.
And
38 minutes to run 100 laps. Phenomenal.
Nancy Bicknell's got something in her hand down there.
Champagne, and I'm staying away. While he's working on getting the belts off, folks, we'll give him a second to get out here. Well, here he comes, folks, out of the 14 JNativePoker.com machine. Make some noise for him, Alan Johnson. Well, he's going to get the champagne going. That gets it on the crew. And they're just going to sit there and take it. Well, I don't want to get that new car all wet. So, Alan, what a run here. Come talk to me, Alan. Great drive there, wire to wire. The track really came in along the bottom. Talk about that for us. You know, you started running the top, but at the end, you're really diamonding off too and making it work along the bottom.
Yeah, you know, the car was really good. We kind of had to look for the groove on the track. You know, up high wasn't too good, so I found a nice little pattern that was working good for me, and I stuck to it.
Now, lap traffic wasn't too big of a problem. The cautions helped you tonight, did they not?
Yeah, no, but you know, lap traffic wasn't too bad. You know, they were 2 or 3 wide a couple times, but you know, the car was working so good, I could just, you know, I didn't really have to push the issue.
Look great tonight, Alan. Wire to wire, congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Alan Johnson will move over here and get a word with Pete Bicknell and Kenny Cosgrove. How about it, folks? Kenny Cosgrove, third place, the hometown guy, doing a great job tonight. Kenny, absolutely amazing. You know, the Merrittville guys, you, Pete, a lot of the other guys starting to use the bottom near the end. It really started to pay off about halfway. You know, just doing what you normally do on a Saturday night really worked for you tonight.
Yeah, it was really good. I mean, a lot of the guys don't know how good the bottom of the track is here, and you just got to shut it down and be patient and just take it easy on the throttle and save the tires. And I got to thank Pete. He moved me out of the way, and I just followed him. He moved everybody else. I just followed him through.
Well, that's was going to be my next question. It looked like a bit of a hockey game, some hip checking going on down there. But in the end, it worked out. You got to be happy with your run, Kenny. I know you got to thank your crew.
Yeah, it was all good. Love running with you.
There you have it, folks. Kenny Cosgrove, third place tonight. We'll get Pete Bicknell over here right now to talk to us. How about it, folks? Second place for Pete Bicknell. Make some noise. What a great run, Pete. No boost tonight, Pete. They like to see you beat up on the Invaders. You know, you and Kenny, I think he showed you something in the beginning because he was ahead of you, and he was the one we were talking about for the first half of that race.
Yeah, he was going so good on the bottom, and he was able to keep it a little bit lower than I was. I was having trouble coming off on the bottom, so I was trying to drive it straight off the corner and driving across the track just so I wouldn't spin the tires and slide it out from under me. But then I started changing lines, changed some brake bias and used a little more front brake, and I was able to run along the guardrail and drag off the bottom. Like where we're standing right now, there's a ton of bite still. So Kenny and I were able to get down here, and the big blocks just couldn't. They were slipping up a little bit or going in a little too fast, not slowing the car down enough, and give us a good chance of getting the bite and a lot of traction. But I think it was a great race. The track turned out good. We were afraid it got a little rough. We did a ton of work on it yesterday because it's been so fast the last few weeks, but it would have been rough, especially with this many cars. And I know the tour guys don't like it. They'd rather have it like this. So it worked out for everybody. After we graded those bumps out of there a little bit, it worked out great.
Congratulations, Pete, doing the hometown fans proud. Second and third for you in Cosgrove. Excellent run.
Well, that's great. BRP cars, all top 3 here, and a 4th place finish, I believe. So top 4 were all BRP cars, so that's great. I got to thank all the fans for coming out. Took everybody, you know, it was a great night for everybody. I got to thank all the fans. Without you, we wouldn't have this place.
All right, there you have it. So it is coming official, Pete. Top 4 are BRP cars. How about it, folks? One round of applause for all our awesome competitors here tonight.
And let's remember the bonuses from Glenn Ralston. The first Merrittville regular across the line, a $400 bonus for Pete Bicknell. Second was Kenny Cosgrove across the line, a $300 bonus.